Welcome everybody. Today we are going to learn measures of risks that can be measured by frequency measures. In the measure of center tendency, a measure of location, that is the mean, median, mode, we got a single value and summarize the whole distribution of the data. In contrast, in frequency measure, we only characterize only part of the population or part of the whole distribution, not the whole, only part of the distribution. We can compare one part of the distribution to the other part of the distribution or to the one part with the whole or entire distribution. The commonly used measures are ratios, proportions, and rates. So for the ratios, proportions, or rates, we have the numerator that should be divided by denominator multiplied by 10 to the power n. That is, numerator you know the upper portion of the fraction, and denominator you know the lower proportion of a fraction. So upper part is known as numerator and lower part is known as denominator. So you can multiply by 10 to the power n. So depend on the measure, which type of measure you are going to use. It may be per unit or maybe per 10, per 100, maybe 1000 or more. So depend on the situation or measure, we can multiply the frequency measure. Okay, so let us know in details. First of all, let us know the ratio. So ratio we know, but how we can know more in deeply. So what is ratio? Ratio nothing but the relative magnitude of two quantities or comparison of two values. So this is the relative magnitude or comparison of two values. In the ratio, the numerator and denominator may be related or not related. So it is not mandatory the numerator and denominator will be related. So this when there is not related, we can say the number of the ratio of the apple or orange with the number of physician, the ratio of the number of orange with the patients, the ratio of the beds with the total number of patients. So they are totally completely two different variables. So we can compare by the ratio two different variables. So what is the definition? Definition other way, the ratio is the number of rates, events, item, persons, etc. in a group, and divided by the number of rates. It may be the rates, events, item, or person in other group. So in one group, we are comparing with the other group. Okay. So there is several types of ratio, as I told already. So let us go in details. The numerator and denominator are different categories of the same variable. So variable are same, but the category will be different. Suppose we want to compare the gender for the females and male to female. Okay. So here is the same variable, is the gender. We can compare or find the ratio of the males and females. Or we can find the ratio of the age of the 20 to 29 years to the 30 to 39 years. So where is the variable is the age? The same variable, different group. One group is the 20 to 29 years. We can compare with the 30 to 39 years. In the other cases, the upper part, the numerator and denominator may be completely different variable. So as I told, the number of hospitals in a city and the size of the population in the city. So here we want to know how many hospitals in the city and the size of the population. So here the number of hospitals is the one variable and the population is the other variable. So we can find the ratio of hospitals in a city compared to the total population, or we find the number of total hospital beds in a city compared to the total population of the city. It is very important in epidemiological study. We know we can use the ratio. We can use the ratio for the risk ratio, rate ratio, or odd ratio. We'll learn more about the odd ratio, which is very important measure for biostatistics or epidemiological study. Okay. So as I told before, for the ratio, denominator and numerator can be same or maybe different. They may be related or may not be related. Let us do one example. So in a city, there are almost 4 million people and there are only 500 clinics. So the ratio of the clinic per person, so there are 500 clinic divided by the 4 million people multiplied by only per person. So we get 0.000125 clinic per person. We can make more convenient by multiply by 10,000. So if we multiply 10,000, we'll get 1.25 clinic per 10,000 person. So here is the ratio of the clinics is 1.25 clinics per 10,000 person. So both are different variable. We can find the ratio. Okay. Similarly, we can find the ratio of doctors over the population. Okay. We can find which is important measure for a country, the ratio of doctors over the total population, which is important measure for the development of a country. Which country is more developed or least developed? We can find the number of doctors over the total populations or number of hospital beds over the total population. This is one of the measure of the poverty or the health benefit or health availability of a country. So let us do the other example. Do you know there are 2 cities in the USA? One is Dilwale, where infant mortality rate was 2001 is 10.7 per 1,000 live birth. And other city, New Hampshire, where the same infant mortality rate was 3.8 per 1,000 live birth. So what is the ratio of the mortality rate between the 2 cities, Dilwale to the New Hampshire? So for the Dilwale, which was 10.7 and Hampshire, it was 3.8. So per 1,000 population, if you divide, you will get 2.8. That is to 1. That is the ratio of the Dilwale and New Hampshire was 2.8 to 1. That is, you can say that is a Dilwale infant mortality rate was 2.8 times higher than the New Hampshire. So we can find the ratio and compare the 2 cities rates or any other rates you can compare. So let us see other example. If you go to the website, we'll find some information about the Bangladesh for 2019. Okay. So here I give the website, you can search it and you can get more. So there is given live birth, deaths, natural increase, net migration, and the male populations for 2019 and the female population for 2019. So what is the ratio of male and female or ratio of the male to female in 2019? So we know the total population of 2019 is male was like this. So almost 85 million and where the female was 84 millions. Okay. So ratio of the male to female, if you divide, you will get it 1.02. If you multiply 100, that is called gender ratio or sex ratio. If you multiply 100, you will get 102. That is the, for Bangladesh, for 102 males, there will be 100 females. So this is the ratio or sex ratio of gender. So of male to female. Okay. So there for 102 male, there will be 100 females in Bangladesh according to the population of 2019. So in this way, we can use a ratio. And remember, the ratio is very important part of biostatistics or epidemiological statistics. So please do more example, more exercise. So now let us know what is proportion. What is proportion? As I told, proportion, ratio, rates, all are the measure of frequency. That is, there will be a numerator and will be denominator. But what is the proportion? Is a comparison of the part of a whole. So if the proportion we will going to compare one part of the whole population. That is, the numerator is include the denominator. That is, numerator is we included in the denominator. The denominator is a part of a, that is the total part of a denominator. Okay, so this is the, suppose the proportion of the clinic person tested positive for HIV, or the percentage of population younger than 25 years. So here, how many populations tested HIV positive out of the total population, or how many percentage of population is younger than 25 years out of total population. So this is a nothing but a part of the whole. So proportion is one kind of ratio, but this is a part of the whole. Okay, so this is a formula: the number of person or event with a particular characteristics, the total number of person or event in that population. You can multiply by 100,000. Okay, like one. So proportion is the percentage of that part in the whole population. Okay, so how can we calculate? So there is a one example. If you see, this is done by National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey in the USA, who are doing survey every year, and a lot of good data you will get from the old data. But their survey given the diabetic men, non-diabetic men, diabetic women, and non-diabetic women into 1971. What is the original men and how many died? So from here we can find the proportion. Okay, what is the proportion of diabetics among the men? So in the total men, what is the percentage of the diabetic patients? So you can find. So here is the diabetes is the numerator 189, and what is the total? So total will be diabetics plus non-diabetics. So total men for the diabetes and non-diabetes, if we add 180 is the 89 is diabetics and 3,151 is the non-diabetes. The total male population is the 3,340, of which is 189 is the diabetes. So see, the numerator is included in the denominator. What is the proportion of diabetes? So if you find 189 divided by this, multiply 100, then you can find percentage of diabetics among men is 5.66%. So in 100 male, there will be 5.66 diabetes patient. Similarly, you can find diabetes for all the population. So that is mean you have to add all the four, and diabetes for the male and diabetes for the female. Then you can find the proportion or percentage of diabetes patient among all the patients from 1971 to 75. Okay, then you can find, or even find, you can find the dates of the the dates in the diabetes patient, dates in the male. So you can find a lot of proportion. Okay, so this is the proportion you can do. So there is some property of a proportion, or some example. The proportion of person enrolled in a study, eligible person in a study. So you can find total among the total population, how many person enrolled in a study. The proportion of children in a village vaccinated against the measles. Okay. So how many children vaccinated out of total children? So proportion of person develop a certain illness among all the passenger in a cruise ship. Okay, in a cruise ship, how many population per person develop a certain illness among all the passenger? Okay, you can find the population. So a lot of way. So only remember that for the proportion, the numerator must be included in the denominator. That is, denominator include the value of the numerator. This is a very important for the proportion. Okay. So proportion you can express fraction, decimal, or percentage, or even thousand. Okay. So depend on the situation. From the proportion, you can get easily the ratio. Proportion you can get easily ratio from the example. I think this is the example number. This is the example number. This or A. From here we got the proportion of, if you remember, the proportion of the clinical attendants who are women. So how many, so there is a numerator 179. So sorry, this is the other example. There is 179 women attend in a clinic out of, and out of all the attendance 341. So attendance means there may be the women or the men. Okay. So the proportion of women attending in the clinic will be 179 divided by 341. If you multiply 100, 52% women attending in the clinic. So now this is the, or you can find the, what is the attendance of men, because from the women, if you minus, you will get the male. So here male divided by 341, you will get the attendance of men, attendance of in the clinic who are male. You can get it. But now what is the proportion of, we can get the ratio. So for the ratio, I can get the proportion of female to male. So I need the female, I have 179. How can you get the male? Once it's total 341, if you minus 179, you will get 162 men. So what is the proportion of male to female to male? Female is 179 and male is got 162, and proportion of 1.1, that is, if you multiply 100, it will get 110. 110. That is, for 110 women, there are 100 male attend in a clinic. So in this way, you can get the ratio from the proportion. So proportion is very important. The numerator include the denominator. For the ratio, they are different. It is not necessary that the denominator include the numerator for the ratio. Okay. So this is where, or you can find the proportion of male to female attend the clinic. There is the other measure of frequency, that is rate. So rate is a measure of frequency which an event occur in a defined population over a specific period of time. So what is the event occurs in a specific population or data over a specific period of time? For the rate, time is very important. So rate is a you can use for the comparing the disease of frequency in different location for different times or different groups. So measure is a, so rate is a measure of risks. So how we can interpret the rate? Rate is a interpreted as a probability that likelihood that event occur to a specific population over a specific period of time. That is, what is the chance or the likelihood that an event occur in a specific population over a specific time period. So rate is always reported per unit of time. The time may be the per day, per month, or per year, etc. So rate is nothing but the proportion, just adding the time. So proportion, we know that is the numerator and divided by denominator, where denominator include the total thing or denominator include the numerator. So rate is nothing but the proportion, just it will add a time. The proportion of the percentage of people over the time. So rate and proportion same, only for the rate, the time is important. So rate and proportion same. So example say there are 20 people out of 130% develop diarrhea after attending a picnic over in a specific day. So here time is in a day, a specific day, the 20 people develop diarrhea out of 130 people. What is the rate? So what is the proportion? If you divide a proportion also, if you say 20 over 130%, 130, that is 1.4 or 15.5% percentage that day. That is, if you say the percentage, or that is the rate of developing diarrhea in that people attend the picnic is 15.4% that day. So rate just include the time. Let us see other example. There are 70 new cases of breast cancer over 1,000 women per day. So what is the rate of developing breast cancer per year? So 70 divided by 1,000 will get 0.007, 0.07, or if you multiply by 100, you will get 7%. That is 7 women per 100 women develop breast cancer per year. So year time is the year. There are two important measure of rates. One is incidence rates, one is prevalence rates. These are both important in biostatistics or epidemiological studies. So please, we can use the rate for incidence rates, and other is prevalence rates. Let us know what are they. So incidence rates is of a disease is the probability that a person without disease will develop the disease during some specific interval of time. So this is nothing but the chance that some person in the population will develop the disease in a specific period of time. That is, or the chance that somebody will have the disease over a period of time, maybe year, maybe month, maybe day. Okay. So, on example, it is given over 1 year period, 5 women. So here, how many women? 5 women were diagnosed with breast cancer out of 200 women. So this new 5 women who did not have the breast cancer before, but they were found they have the breast cancer over the 1 year. So what is the incidence rates for this? So we have 5 women for 200 women who were developed the breast cancer over the 1 year. So 0.025 per women, or you can say 25 women per 1,000 women in a year. That is incidence rates. It is 25 per 100 women in a year. So 25 women develop breast cancer who did not have the breast cancer before out of 1,000 women. So here incidence rates is 25 or 0.025 per women. Okay. So let us see other example. In 2003, 44,232 new cases of acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, that is AIDS, were reported in the United States. So there are new cases of 44,232 of AIDS in the USA, and that time the population of the USA was about 29 million. What is the incidence rates in 2003? So time is very important for a year 2003. The incidence rates will be how many how many people develop the AIDS? 44,000 divided by total population. So here the numerator will be 44,232 and the denominator 29 million. That is the population will be like that. You divide by this, if we per lakh population or per 100,000 population. So if you divide by the total number of people develop the AIDS divided by the total number of people population in the US at that time, multiply by 100,000 or multiply by 1 lakh. It will be 15.21 new cases of AIDS per 100,000 population, per lakh population. That is, we can say incidence rates in 2003 for developing the AIDS was 15.21 per 100,000 population. So this is the incidence rates for people developing. What is the risk that the new people develop some disease? So incidence rates, time and disease very important. And what is the time? Year, month, or week, or maybe the day. So and what is the and how many people developing new disease? Okay, it may be the AIDS, breast cancer, diarrhea, or now is the COVID-19 coronavirus. So what is the chance in the next 1 month? That is how many people going to develop the coronavirus next 1 month in Bangladesh. So incidence rates, if you know the number of people, can projection how many you can get after 1 month, then you can say incidence rates for developing coronavirus in this month. Suppose this is in the next month or that month, you can say this. So this is the way we can find the incidence rates. Other is the prevalence rates, which is very important measure in biostatistics or epidemiological studies. So prevalence rates is the probability of having the disease. So this is nothing to that somebody will develop the disease, the people will develop disease. This is the somebody already have the disease. This is the prevalence rate. So how many people, how many person in a population in a time period already have the disease? This is not somebody going to develop disease. Suppose in the last 2 months, how many people already identify as a coronavirus or COVID-19 virus affected? So divided by total population, we can get the prevalence rate of coronavirus. In that month, we can get it. So this is the prevalence rate that is prevailing in the population. Remember that prevalence rate includes all the cases, both new cases and pre-existing cases, old cases. So incident rates only include the new cases, but prevalence rates, how many already existing and how many will be developed, they include existing rate and new cases. Okay, this is the difference between incident rates. Incident rates only for the new cases, but the prevalence is more broader. How many already have and how many will develop the next month, all included prevalence rate. So we can get the prevalence rate. So let us give one example. In a measurement of cancer in a population of 40,000 and 1,200 people were recently diagnosed with cancer. Okay, of which that is 1,200 already diagnosed, recently new cases already diagnosed with cancer, and before there was a 3,500 people already cancer people. So if you find the, if you want to find the incidence rate, will be 1,200 divided by 40,000. But if you want to find what is the prevalence rate, that is prevalence rate will be the new cases 1,200 and the old patient who have already the cancer 300, 500. If you divide by this 40,000, you will get it 0.18. Or if you multiply 1,000, you will get it 118 per 118. That is 118 prevalence rate for 1,000 people. The prevalence rate of cancer is 118 per 100 per 1,000 people. Or if you want to find, if you can calculate easily from the incidence rates. If you divide 1,200 over the 44,000, you will get the incident rates. But the prevalence rate, we consider the old cases and the new cases. So this is the way we can do. Let us see other example. In a survey of 1,150 women gave birth in a city of USA, Maine in 2000, of which 468 women taking a multivitamin at least 4 times a week. So during the month of their pregnancy, what is the prevalence rate of taking the multivitamin in that group in that 4 weeks? So how many women take the multivitamin? 468 out of 1,150. You will get it. That is 40.7%. So that is the, here is the prevalence rate of taking multivitamin. It will be 14.7. So this is the way, other way you can get. I gave a link. You will get a lot of example for prevalence rate, incidence rates, ratio. Please check this website. It's a very important website. So I gave many examples from the website. So this is the difference between the prevalence rates and incidence rates. Remember, incidence rates only include the number of new cases that will develop the disease over the total population, and prevalence rate is the new cases plus the existing cases. So how many people will develop and how many people already develop. So over the total population. This is the difference between the incidence rates and prevalence rates, which are very important for biological studies. Please do more example. It will be very helpful for you. I'll put you more exercise. Just remember the concept. Prevalence rate is the total old and new, and the incidence rate is only the new cases.